happening, everyone? We're back. We're number 3, baby. Number 3. I was on Furu's show this morning because he just sent me a StreamYard link, and I'm like, I like Furu. I like his content. Let me get on there with him and Ben Dubard. And then I was live with Dipcatcher at 3:30 Pacific, and that was a lot of fun as well. And right now I'm actually uploading one of the clips of Dipcatcher. So if you see me slowing down or a little bit glitchy, just YouTube is uploading. So we're both going to deal with it for a couple minutes because I got to get that video out tonight because it's relevant, because the DCA coin is launching tomorrow, and I want to get out in time to make it like a real time deal. Anyways, and then number 3, to top off this beautiful Tuesday, February Pacific Northwest night, we have local Hexicans from the meetup. These guys, I remember first meeting them 8, 9, 10 months ago last year, and I remember the mask. I'm like, nah, I don't think I want to stream or anything like that. And then here we are. I'm like, why not? Let's do Twitter. Let's do streaming. Let's get into the motions of supporting and having utility in the Richard Heart ecosystem. That's what I try to do, and it's just been a blast. So I really wanted to highlight our local chapter and let people know that if you're in the Pacific Northwest, if you're in other states, if you're in other places, you can get together with people who have common use and interest, such as cryptocurrency, and they may even love your favorite crypto as well. So want to get the guys together, and I wish, maybe next time we'll have more girls. We usually have at the meetups, there's a big diversity of people, but the people who could show up tonight, and there's more that couldn't show up, but the ones that could show up tonight, the gentlemen of Hexico, let's bring them in. Let's bring them in, everyone. First up, Bets in Crypto, T-Rex, Valley Brand, Steve D, and Jerry Oaksmith. Welcome to the show, everyone.
Woo! Hey.
Thanks for having us.
Good to be here.
Good evening, everybody.
Good having us. The Men of Hexico, Washington State chapter. It's again, next time, guys, try to invite some girls. We'll get some more local Hexicans here. But tonight, we're doing it all together. And in Vets from Crypto, in Crypto's background, that is a picture of one of our meetups, one of our mini dinners at Trencher's, our favorite place to have drinks and exchange crystals and all that fun type of stuff. So
we got mine right here.
Nice. Dude, the crystals are legit from T-Rex. He's a crystal miner of sorts, among other types of mining. So let's go through. I'll talk to the chat as we go, but how about everyone starting to the right of me, just introduce themselves and just say how they got into Hex. Let's do a little, almost a testimonial, a baby testimonial, if you will, but just how'd you
Right on, man. So, Vets in Crypto, 4 years in the Marine Corps. Been self-employed ever since I got out. I do have a service-connected disability through the VA. Started in late 2017 mining Ethereum. Started out using NiceHash mining, and then I got into leasing out hash rate using Genesis mining, and so that gave my segue in. Eventually someone dropped the word hex in a chat and started running down that rabbit hole. I think I came across the hex. I came across my fellow brother hexologist first, and then naturally ran into RH, hours of all of that. And I've been hooked ever since. I've been in Hex since March 2020, start of the pandemic. Staking ladder is established. That was first and foremost. Started out my furthest, 15 years, worked my way back and forth. And then been to several Hex in real life meetups between NASCAR and Vegas and Big K's event in Chicago, the Hex 3rd birthday. All that good stuff. So that's my story in a nutshell. Sticking to it.
Fantastic, man. Great to have you, and always appreciate the service of the veterans as well. So good to have you, man.
Pleasure to serve.
How about you, T-Rex? What's your story?
Yeah, man. I'm going to start by thanking you for opening this up and organizing a lot of our meetings. I brought my PulseChain hat. I got my Hex 3rd birthday T-shirt.
Nice.
If only I could find a cup that could hold more. These cups are kind of small, so it doesn't hold much liquid in there.
I like it. I'll get you the 20-ounce one next time. How about that?
Yeah, we need the big ones.
Yeah.
So Hex was my first cryptocurrency, and so dinosaurs in the chat for that. I was actually going through a divorce, and my friend Hex on the Beach, he's also a local. He's right there. Hex on the Beach. He's a Seattle guy. We played basketball together in college, and he introduced me to Hex. Called me at work one day. I was feeling low and said, "Hey, this is my story." He shared his story with me, and ever since I just jumped in. I work about an hour and 10 minutes from where I live. So I live in the Telegram chats. The Telegram chats, I love to just sit in those chats and learn and take advantage. I'm like a fly on the wall. I take advantage of all the different experts in our community and all the content that they provide. So I got into Hex. It was a 2021. And caught a little bit of pump into the sacrifices, so I was able to do some add some great value to the PulseChain and PulseX sacrifice. So I'm excited for that. And then ever since then, I've just been diving into all the different aspects in our DeFi realm. So, and here I am now going to all of our meetups and with a great crew. So that's it.
Can only get greater. Yeah, man. We glad to have you on board. It's our meetups are so fun, and they just keep getting better. I'm excited for the next one every month. I'm like, man, we just have a blast.
For sure.
Oh, and I want to add one more thing. So Hex on the Beach, he helped me. He helped me kind of coach me on the fundamentals. MetaMask, and he said, okay, well, you need this and this. You need Twitter to follow Richard Hart so you can get the real-time updates and all that. And I took some time before I got Twitter, just because I had all the other things. I had Instagram, and I'm like, I'm not sure I can deal with another social media. And so then one day Richard tweeted something and I missed it. So I said, I'm going to have to get Twitter. And so I got Twitter, and my second or third tweet, I tweeted something about the Hex diamond, the Hex.com diamond. I said, well, this isn't the Hex.com diamond, but it's something that I mined myself, and I think it's prettier. And I posted a picture of a crystal, right? And I had some comments, and then miraculously Richard Hart commented on my photo, and he said something so amazing, like mind-blowing. And I was shocked. He said,
"What do you say?"
Nice. That was and it's funny because I think that comment had like almost as many comments as I had on the original post. So that's my Richard Hart interaction story. And actually, this is the one.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Whoa, that is worthy
That's a big
of putting on the internet, man. That's awesome. No wonder he said nice. That is nice.
Okay, someone else is up.
Love
Can we
it,
come up
love
with
it.
a name for that? Can we come up with a name for that will make it unique to Washington State?
The
We'll get back to
Washington
that.
State Hexagon Telegram diamond?
Well, it would be an amethyst. So this is
Okay.
an amethyst.
Oh,
So
Hex.com
Hex-
amethyst.
Crystal. We
There
can
you
call
go.
it a crystal.
Okay. Hex.com crystal. That's not taken. So I
Right?
like it.
There you go.
Okay. Amazing, man. Steve, what's your story? Why are you here? And what's going on, man?
Got no cool tweets like T-Rex has got with Max, unfortunately, with Richard. But so no cool stories like that. But I got here in 2019, moved over from Australia, from the Gold Coast. And
Can
moved in here.
you come a little closer to your mic just a little bit? It's hard to hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I moved over here in 2019. Had an opportunity to move to the States, so I did. 2020, I got myself out of a pretty shitty relationship, and 2021, I found Hex. So started doing a lot of self improvement courses and stuff like that, and got myself into crypto and jumped on the centralized exchange systems and realized that that wasn't really the place to be. But one of the courses were absolutely great. That's where I caught up with Jerry, and that's the start of the forming of the Washington State Hexicans. And ever since then, it's just Hex made sense to me. It just straight away just clicked, and I just did a deep dive, got straight into it, just loved it. So I jumped in at like 6 or 7 cents and followed it all the way up and got rid of the vehicle, got, whatever I had, I threw the Hex. I just believe in it. And then I've been chasing it all the way down as well now. So my dollar average is better than my entry average at the moment. So it's really, really cool. I'm loving it. And now we've got the opportunity of, staking in the ecosystem and doing sacrifices. I've just been ever since I don't think I had so much fun until we actually got to the bear market, and seeing my dollar average, buy-in average come down and down and down, and just be able to now do my 12 monthly stakes. Now it's every 6 months, and just closing that gap up nicely. And my only problem that I've got at the moment is trying to create dry powder. We've got some really cool little sacrifices with the different things going on in the ecosystem. It's just been absolutely awesome, and it's exciting times. So I'm so proud to be class myself as a Hexigan, and Max, you're one of my biggest fans. Probably during the bull market there was so many different people that I was listening to. I probably honed it down to about 6 of them, and just get rid of all the FUD that's out there, and stop listening to all the tweets that's going on. All the static and just crap that's going on in the ecosystem, and just focusing in on the good things. And I've got a bit of a game plan on how I want to approach the launch, and hopefully we keep that Hex down a little bit longer so I can keep buying in. But yeah, anyway, that's my story. But I really loving the Hex meetups that we're doing every month, and really, yeah, just can't highly recommend it enough to anyone in the area wants to catch up with a bunch of great guys and a couple girls, and be able to enjoy each other's company, which is just so cool.
Yeah, man, we've been beating the bear down together. It's been a little bit of bear market therapy the last few months, but you're still here. That's the important thing. If you've made it through this bear market and you're still Hexican and you haven't sold your bag, then you may be rewarded one day. That's what we all hope, and that's why we're here. So awesome to have you, man. Really good to have you. Jerry Oaksmith, tell us what's going on. It's your time. Let's go.
Well, let's see. I got into Hex early 2021, and at that point in time, I really didn't know the difference between cryptos. I pretty much whatever I heard or read or whatever a buddy said, no matter what coin it was, if he said it was going up, I was getting into it. And I wasn't in Hex right away, and I really was liquidity for a bunch of other people, and it was pretty painful. And I was told that Hex might be a good one. As I said, I didn't know one crypto to the next. But the guy that told me about it was conservative, Dave Dodge. He was a local Hexican.
Mm-hmm.
And it was before the Pulse sacrifice. And actually it was like the day he told me about it was the day that Richard Hart announced the Pulse, coming out. And I didn't really realize that for about a month or two later. But I got in, but I didn't put as much money as I wish I would have, as we all could say that. But I was scared. I was like, the kitty cat gets thrown in the bathtub, and then he doesn't even want to go in the bathroom anymore. That was me. But I went pretty heavy in Hex, and I'm really glad I did. I sacrificed for PulseChain, but at the same time, I still had the trader mentality. And I didn't sacrifice till I think it was day 17, which, unlike the PulseX sacrifice, we had 10 days, I think, if I remember correctly, to where you didn't, lose any percentage or whatever. So I did that on the 17th day, and I'm really glad I did that now. And Hex just started to take off. And it's like, whoa, look at this. And I sold all the way up, and in hindsight, I guess I'm glad I did. But after, it went way up to 52, 56 cents or whatever, I was a little pissed. But I ended up buying back in at 39 cents after selling like a whole bunch between 12 and 18 cents. And, it's okay. But time went along, and I didn't even know about staking. I did not know about staking ladders. I didn't know anything about it. And then I found out 4 or 5 months into it, I don't know. And once I went to go.hex.stake or whatever it is, can't remember. I started playing around with it, entering calculations, and the light bulb went off. I was like, oh my God, this is unbelievable. Didn't really understand about it being immutable and a lot of other wonderful aspects. Figured that out. And then I wanted to keep stuff liquid. Let's keep it liquid so we could buy, sell, all that mentality that I was still stuck in my head. And then they were talking about when's Pulse launching, eventually. I don't remember when that was. And then everybody was talking about, what was it? Richard's horoscope or astrology or yeah. And it's his birthday or whatever, the hour he was born. And I was like, I'm so sick of this shit. And I pretty much 100% staked myself at that point in time. And I was really happy I did. I sleep like a baby now. My next stake is coming out in August of 2023. The price, I love the price going up because it makes a lot of people happy. Doesn't bother me, But yeah, that's kind of what happened. And I sacrificed really hard for PulseX. So I'm hoping PulseX will outperform Pulse. I don't think that'll happen, but be my fingers crossed. And then, like Steve said, I was in a crypto course, and I met him there. Him and I were going through some similar stuff. We're in the same business, and I saw him. I was like, "Oh, did he say Seattle? He said Seattle. Oh, Renton." So I hit him up, and we got together, and we started hanging out, and then he got a hold of Valiant Brand, and before you knew it, we had this little click going. It's just grown ever since, and yeah, that's about it. We'll talk more about it after Brandon shares.
Awesome. Yeah, I think so. That was DCC's course that you all were taking, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and that was a really good course. I learned a lot about Celsius. Thank God he told us about Hex too. Sorry.
Hey, I think DCC courses onboarded so many Hexicans. So,
yeah, you really learn a lot in his course. I mean, I knew nothing, and gave me a foundation. So hats off, shout out to DCC.
For sure. And last but not least, Ballet Brand. know him as one of the streamers in the cycle. He's got over 5,555 subs.
Yeah.
Because I was at the dinner where we celebrated it. So how's it going, man? What's your story? What's your introduction to Hex and this beautiful ecosystem we're all sharing?
Doing great. Thanks for hosting this stream. I think it's really cool. Like you mentioned that we're doing, more local meetups. And I do have to thank Jerry. He's the one that got that cake. And that was probably one of the coolest gifts. I mean, just sentimental wise, like shit, I wasn't expecting that, so that was really cool. As far as Richard Hart goes, I mean, so I've been in crypto since like early 2017. And then not too long after that had heard about Richard Hart because, he is a Bitcoin Maxi and kind of fighting some of the Ethereans and things like this. And, really liked his style of communication. It's kind of what I try to strive to do as well, which is kind of just a no BS style of communication and, cut to the chase. And he has no problem, saying things how it is. As far as the first market cycle, I had experienced my first market cycle in Bitcoin and in Litecoin, rode it all the way down. And then kind of when I was about to, seemingly like give up or kind of quit crypto, was like the end of the bear market. And that was when Richard had talked about creating his own crypto. And then so I figured, okay, I'll stay in this for this product that Richard's now created, which is Hex. And, I'd taken all of the other, because I was in, 2017, there was a lot of, different altcoins and stuff that people were into, myself included. So I'd taken all of that, the Litecoin, the Bitcoin, sold it for Ethereum, and then got into Hex on day one and kind of just, presumed to kind of dollar cost average whatever bit that I could into the adoption amplifier. Since then have, obviously been fortunate enough to participate in the PulseChain sacrifice and, and now the PulseX. And once again, thank you, Max, for doing this stream as well. I think Jerry was one of the first people I had met at the Crypto Sparbu when they were doing the Quattro Cinco tour, when they were kind of traveling all over the US. I didn't realize, I didn't realize there was other people kind of in the Seattle or Washington State area. So that was really cool to meet some people that were like-minded. And then ever since that day that we had done the music video, we've done the local meetups as you guys have all experienced with myself. And that's been really fun. Today, I actually met a Hexican that I've streamed with a handful of times, Glenn Carlson, on my YouTube channel. And he came up today from Oregon, and we got to hang out for a couple hours before he had some other duties to do. But the thing that I'll say that's cool real quick, just wrapping this little part up, is, the crypto is great, the founder is great, things like that. But Wendy's for Tendies had said a long time ago that, and I'm maybe this goes for any community, but from my experience, one of the best things that, people can do in a bear market or other things is, try and make friendships and relationships and, people that you share in common with, maybe send them a direct message and see if you share anything in common. I mean, I've seen so many, people meet a lot of new friends or just separate, business workings that they've done through meeting people in this community. So once again, thanks for having us on, and it's a blast. I mean, once again, it's fun to live stream and things like that with you guys. But meeting up in person is also another experience, which is, very legitimate.
It takes it to another level. It really does. It's like when you meet people in person. I've been streaming a lot lately, and Grant's been streaming a lot in the past as well. And it's a different feeling. Like when you meet up with people in person, you get to know them, and you just get to hang out with them in a casual environment. You get to do events. You get to exchange stuff. We got crystals. We got Hex merch. We got just lots of cool stuff. We got hats, people throwing hats around and all that. It's cool. It's just like a friendly, cool local deal. And when you get to, have a drink with somebody or have dinner or go bowling with them, it's a different experience than, just seeing them over a webcam. So I'm definitely lucky and fortunate I found you all. I don't remember how. I think I may have saw Brand might have tweeted the Telegram group And I was like, oh, I should probably join that. I don't know if I ever do anything, but I'll just join it and see what people are talking about. So I probably just watching for a while, and I'm kind of, oh, they're having a meetup. Oh, maybe I should go. Maybe I should like I don't know. Should I meet these people or not? I don't know. I remember feeling that at first, and I showed up, and then everybody came, and I was like, whoa, this is a fun time. So that first dinner really sold me on this group. I was like, yeah, I would like to do that again. That sounds fun.
Well, and now we're stuck for 5, 5, 5, 5 together.
We are stuck together. That's true.
Or at least 7 years, because we can always emergency end stake if we
That's
have
true.
My first thought is 10 years gets you the maximum payout, but you don't get the end stake penalties at the last 5. So maybe at least 10 T-Rex, maybe 10 to 15 at least. It's good to me. I'll do some time with you guys in that context. What do you guys, as far as and we'll, again, anybody in the chat, appreciate everyone showing up for local Hex meetups. Again, don't know your local Hex meetup, just figure it out in your whatever city you're in. Check Twitter, check YouTube, check the local groups, and just see if people are meeting up, because you may be missing out on meeting people in real life and developing these relationships that can really, during a bear market especially, you need people to tell you it's going to be all right. You need people to misery loves company, and like the most generous way I could talk about it. It's like you need people to be around and be like, I don't know if I'm going to go, jump ship for Cardano or something. It's like if you're able to stick in this ecosystem and get people to reinforce that it's the best one, like that's a good thing to have. So if you don't know your local meetup, I suggest you find out. And if you're Washington State or Seattle area, you found the right one as far as we go. So.
Yeah, I'd like to add some to that too. Sure. It's interesting because I'm 5'10", and I'm like the shortest dude. So if there's anybody else that's below 6 foot in Washington State, come hang out and sit next to me, and take a picture next to me, because yeah, I just want to share that these guys all here are all above 6 foot.
We're going to start sending invitations out by height. The shorter you are, the better, according to Jerry. Maybe we'll do that.
Also, to add to this, the meetups are a really good opportunity for marketing and communicating Hex out. And I mean, when people see you shooting money printers out and in astronaut outfits and everything, they want to know what's up, and so
yes.
we meet servers and just random people who are like, whoa, what are these, what's this group about? And it's just a lot easier than like trying to be a salesman and find random people. They're drawn in, people are drawn in, so it's fun. I think we all like to talk about crypto, and we all like to talk about Hex and the projects that mean something to us. And when other people ask you about it, then it makes it that much better, so it's an opportunity.
I love how when we go out to, I always tell people, they're like, oh, you guys work for the same company? I'm like, yeah, we work for Hex.com. Because how else do you explain it? How else do you explain a bunch of loonbirds who are into crypto, who don't get paid? Nobody gets paid for doing any of this stuff. They just want to go hang out because they're interested in it. So you're like, yeah, we work for Hex.com, whatever. Here's a t-shirt. You want a t-shirt? Here's a t-shirt. Yeah.
I like how you did those $100 bills there, Max. That was pretty awesome, shooting them out. That was pretty classic at the moment.
I was going to say we should talk about some of the events. So I made some custom $100 Richard Hart bills that I also paired with a money shooter. Okay, Steve's got them. All right, bring them up. I love those. I keep a couple around the house too. So money shooter that turned into like this music video that Jerry put together to the tune of the popular Prada remix that was out at the time. Yes. Yeah. Can we get a close up? Oh, that's real money. Still real money.
You have your Richard. There we go. Wait, you have your Richard Hart $100 bills mixed with your real money.
It gets my kids every time.
Please keep trying to pay people with it. Please keep trying to pay people. It's so good.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
It gets one or two of them for sure.
Dude, so I made a bunch of those, and we had that was in the bowling event. We've had bowling and maybe another bowling coming up. We've had plenty of dinners around the greater Seattle area. We've had indoor skydiving, which I hope is coming up. I'm trying to help plan some of that, maybe in March. We could try to do that with someone who's not from Washington State, I don't think, but she's very interested in meeting up with the local Western groups. Crypty Girl. What other events? Vets? What other events have we had?
We did the picnic deal. That's how that was my introduction, right? And
that's right.
Meeting everybody. So that was great. Jerry hosted that. Steve was on the grill, hooking and jabbing on there. It was delicious.
We had the flag.
Had all the kids, and it's a family affair too, right? Like it just, however it works out, it works out. We did Steve's awesome hockey event. He got a suite and everything. That was beautiful. Thank you very much.
Super cool.
Everyone just does their part where they can, pays it forward. Crypto Compassions, come up from Oregon, hanging out with us. I mean, love that guy. It's free to everybody. So
we had the couple come up from Oregon also, for the picnic.
Yeah, my buddy Northwest Hexican. Yeah, great dude. I was roommates with him at Daytona. I met him in Telegram, and we ended up shacking up together, down in Florida. It was a great experience. He's he's an Army guy himself. So we just natural connection and hit it off.
Yeah, lots of meetups, lots of events, and we've been trying to do them about once a month or so. Maybe we skip a month every once in a while, but trying to get together and just go conquer some territory. Again, we talk to waitresses and waiters and people at the events, or people who just ask us, "Hey, what's on your shirt? What does this mean? What is that? Is that your company? Is what?" And I've had I think last time at bowling, we had a lot of conversations with people just explaining what is DeFi, like what is Hex, how can you get involved, how can it help you, how much money people have made just on their investments and the passive income aspect of it. So when you go out, I'm always surprised when I wear a hat that says Hex on it or a shirt. People always ask me, what does it mean? What is that? I don't know why. It's like they're just drawn to the hexagons everywhere. Just like Richard says, hexagons everywhere. They're everywhere. You can't get away from them. They're attractive. They bring people in.
Well, it's a beautiful, it's a beautiful logo. It pops, right? It resonates. But just, from many other events, like when you're out in a group and everyone's all hexed up, we're pretty easygoing, group of people in general, and very approachable. And most people, quite a lot of people have dabbled here or there in some type of crypto, and you try to show them the light and save them from themselves. And some understand and get it, and some just need a little more education. And that's what it's all about. But each of you guys individually all bring something to the table, and each meetup and event just gets more fun and more interesting, and we all learn from each other. Yes, we're all about Hex, but just we love PulseChain. There's a lot of great products on PulseChain. This is the RHMax channel, but hey, it's all in the RH ecosystem as well. So it's beautiful.
Yeah, I'll talk about stuff other than the blue chips when I like a product. There's plenty of products that have price positive feedback loops that I don't like.
So leading into that, what was up with Maximus? What are those guys doing? What's on the horizon?
Dipcatcher is creating a new coin / pass that is going to be based on, you get access to a trading indicator for DCA, though, a DCA trading indicator. That's cool. What I talked about a couple hours ago on stream with him. If anybody wants to see it, RHMax Dipcatcher DCA. But he's creating that. Very low float, low supply, probably. I think it starts tomorrow evening, it sounds like. That he's going to release it, and you can participate in that if you want with ETH. But that's going to be an interesting project, especially if you're interested in DCA, if you do some trading, not the GDN trading, but like the DCA type trading. That's going to be something, his new project coming out. So I've been waiting, 2023, I've been waiting, what's the next Maximus project, or from the Maximus guys, and Dipcatcher put me through the ringer on the technical deep dive last show, and it seems very interesting. If anyone wants to check
So
it
like
out.
you heard it here first type of thing. Is that yeah?
He did a stream right before he came on with me, and then I got to ask him a bunch of questions. So there was that. I don't always get the exclusive. Maybe one day. Maybe we'll try to. I'll try to. Can somebody tell me I'm embarrassed. I don't know. The Washington State Telegram, is it T.me, Jerry or Brand, or somebody tell me this? Washington State. WA State. I just want to post it in the chat so people can know where to go for our local meetups, or they can be extreme vetted.
Let me link it real quick for you, because I don't think I think when I had set it up initially that
wasn't it invite only? Like
I think it's that. Yeah, I don't think it's like it used to be t.me/Washington State Hexicans. Let me get you the link again here real quick. I'll put it in the private chat.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just thinking we try to keep it to Washington only, or if we know you and you're Pacific Northwest and you can come to meetups a lot. No stalkers, that type of thing. But we want to be friendly, but also we try to keep it our local meetups. So that's all. Yeah.
Well, like I said, everybody's over 6 foot. We have a sharpshooter in the group. We have a sharpshooter in the group. We have a guy that's a MMA fighter that we have seen him on video knock somebody out with one kick. So, we're good on that at security, and we don't need security. We are the security. So, yeah, Brandon, it's really cool. You reminding me, yes, that's where we met is the when Avit came through. We had dinner, and Steve was with us there too. He didn't make it to the video, but that sure was cool, and that was the beginning. I was not really a Hexican until that day, and it took a few days to really click, but I knew there was something very special about this group of people. And as I spent another year and a half, 2 years or whatever it's been since then, there's really, really a lot of very intelligent, special people in the Hexican community that you don't see anywhere else. Like I've told, I don't know who, I think I was talking to Steve one time. I watched some of the Bitcoin documentaries, from I don't know how many years ago that, had footage from Bitcoin, when it first came out, and the people, and it's like, we have these meetups and it feels special. It feels like it looked in those documentaries, except we've got a better product.
Well, and we're so cross-functionally different. It's almost like we're the village people of crypto. We have a construction worker, we have a streamer, we have a rockhound, we have a vet, we have
an Australian.
Hey,
we do not discriminate. Equal Mexican employers, Hey.
True.
But within that group, you go in these other communities, and there's just there can be just so much crap out there. The positivity of the people in the group, you've got all the mental health stuff that is getting streamed, and just even Richard's books that he put out, just really sort of trying to, you find better people in our community, which is so awesome to see.
For sure. And to that, and that goes to as far as shout outs go, that goes out to KSB, man. Crypto Sparbuck team, the whole crew.
Absolutely.
Amazing. All the different Hex and PulseChain events that they throw on and host, and touring around the country. It takes a couple Germans and a crew to do it up in America. And they brought a lot of people together, right? Just as you're sharing your story. That was the beginning, and it helped unify and solidify even more. And state by state, and as you're chatting in live chats, people are like, "Hey, where are you from?" Or might be in their handle, or this and that, and a conversation ensues. And next thing you know, you got 1, 2, and 3, 4, and you got a nice meetup going.
It's like you drink Red Bull, I drink Red Bull,
right?
Hang out,
right.
Yeah.
I thought we weren't supposed to talk about Red Bull. You said, Jerry, watch your mouth, be careful. And so I thought Red Bull was off limits.
I don't think
You
I
talk
said
about
that, but you
Redbubble?
might have heard it in your head in my voice, though. You might have heard it. I don't think I said the
Okay.
exact words.
Hey Max,
No.
I think our official drinks. What is that? Moscow Mule, isn't it? When we catch up, it
Those are
Our dinner,
good.
our
Those
dinner
are
drink
good.
is Moscow Mule. I think so. Yeah.
starts getting
Yes.
expensive.
Oh man, I don't know. I think whoever we get as doing our tab at Trenchers, they like to just they're like, oh, hex.com, you guys must be rich. Let's just double all the stuff. Let's just
Wow.
like you say double, and then we'll double the price. How about that? I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. And then there's like, hey, I'll do a shot. Yeah, throw one more on there. Hey.
They're taking advantage of superior software. I guess I'll say that. So Brand, I want to talk about two plans for shout out to Moscow Mule, whoever invented that drink. Brand, we'll start with you. Plans for 2023, current contributions to the community, future contributions. What is your vision? What is the pulse of 2023 in the ecosystem, and what do you achieve this year? I guess.
So, I mean, for me personally, I've just been taking a little bit of a, like my channel wise, I've just been kind of taking a little bit of a break on kind of like content and things like that. Is the question directed for like kind of like what I'm doing this year channel wise, or what was the kind of question directed towards? Or?
Yeah. What do you see happening in the ecosystem? Okay. What do you plan on doing? Yeah, things like that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, fingers crossed, right? That PulseChain launches this year, and it's awesome to see. It's really cool to see, like, having been there at the beginning of Hex and now with the sacrifice for PulseChain and PulseX, what's going to be coming into fruition. The wait is definitely going to be well worth it, and it's also, I mean, I know for yourself that's more of the technical details. It was kind of cool to see a little bit of the pivot from the fork of the Parelia, like BSC, to the ETH 2.0. I know that had kind of, maybe put a wrench in some of the timing as far as, how long it's taking for PulseChain to come out. But yeah, I mean, if everything goes well, we're definitely going to see that launch this year. And, that's going to kind of be just like the ripple, like the drop of water that, creates all of these, different waves and all of these other ecosystems for people that hadn't heard about Richard Hart or Hex or things like this community. If they haven't heard about that before PulseChain launches, then they're going to hear about that after. Because just like you mentioned with, going to the meetups and things like this, people have definitely heard, they now know like the term crypto, or it might have like a sour taste in their mouth from maybe someone that was in BitConnect in 2017, things like that. But the cool thing about what we're doing with the meetups, or, just the crypto in general, is it seems to be, doing things, but like one step better and kind of doing it the right way instead of, rushing to launch and then having something not turn out as well. So what I think we're going to see is, PulseChain launch this year, and yeah, that obviously includes PulseX and, everything else that's getting forked over. And that's going to be really cool. It's like I said, it's been a long time coming, and it's going to be cool to see it into fruition, because, you can only onboard so much and you can only hype people up so much before something is launched, and especially with some of the timing and things, people might just get bored or disinterested until it does launch, so I'm really looking forward to that happening, and it's going to be, the ecosystem that I imagine it in my head. Cheaper fees, things like this. It's going to be a good opportunity for all of us. And, the cool thing is too, is, Jerry had mentioned the Bitcoin documentaries and things like that. This definitely does feel like that. Not that I was there, in Bitcoin early on, I wasn't, but I know when Richard had talked about his intentions for Hex and now what we're seeing with PulseChain, it really is going to be something big. And, as far as like the snowball downhill analogy, it's really just getting started, and it's going to be exciting to see, how much more generational wealth is created, and also just being able to, get other people into, what I think is a good investment, a good community, good people. As far as the last thing I'll say is, as far as the meetups go, like, Max had mentioned, that you're kind of contemplating in your head, like, okay, should I go to this meetup? Is it kind of, is it gonna, damage my operational security, things like that? Are there any concerns? For me, I haven't had any, concerns come into fruition. Like everything's been, everything's been super, super cool. Kind of as it's been since the beginning, as far as the people that I've met and also their intentions too. So just really looking forward to PulseChain and, that sacrifice for the points, for the Pulse points is going to be pretty cool. And anyways, it's just a whole ecosystem. Once it's launched, you can't really, turn it back or redo it. So I appreciate Richard for taking the time, because, just like with Hex in the beginning, before it was launched, Dev Kyle had kind of noticed some of the, like there's kind of like a slight bug in the actual T-share rate itself, where, what's supposed to be longer pays better and things like that. The system could have been gamed. And so, the point is just the wait for what Richard's been doing with PulseChain. We all think that that's going to turn into something pretty nice versus it, having launched before when maybe it wasn't all the way ready.
There's no redos. Yes, definitely. I think Richard, we trust in him. He's got all the plans. He's playing 4D chess. He's 10 steps ahead of everyone. And so far, so good. You got to wait, but that's the only pain we've had. The only pain has been waiting. There's been no disasters, no PulseChain false starts. It's been great. So Hex went down with everything else. Pulse, we're going to see how it launches and how things go with it. But it's looking better than ever this year. I kept pushing out 2024. I'm like, I don't want to think about it this year. And the last few weeks, I see the dev outrage marketing, and I'm like, maybe 2023, maybe we can have a chance. So, anyways, Jerry Oaksmith, what do you plan on doing 2023? What are you looking forward to? What's the pulse on the community?
So, I'm going to be honest with you, like, all through like growing up and being a pretty big Seahawks fan, not so much anymore since I've had kids, really don't have time to watch the Seahawks, but, I loved them my whole life. I always remember everybody on Monday morning talking about what the Seahawks should have done, to maybe, win or whatever. And I just always remember thinking, well, there's people paid a lot more money than these people talking about it, and like a lot smarter, and know more about football. And so when people talk about Pulse launching or, asking my opinion when it's going to launch, it's like, I don't know. There's a lot more people that are smarter than me working on it. So that's where I'm at. It's going to launch when it launches, and it's going to be super exciting because, $500 Ethereum fees for unstaking or, for your stake ending, that's not cool, especially when somebody, doesn't have a lot of money and they're trying to DCA in, and they don't want to have, they want a 1 year stake. They want their first stake to be 1 year and they want to do a ladder. So I'm super excited. I just cannot wait. I canceled my Netflix membership because I don't get any joy out of watching anything on TV anymore, because watching the community and all the other cryptos and DeFi and, FTX collapsing, I mean, I get enough entertainment with that. It's super exciting. So 2023 for me, seriously, is about more personal growth. If anybody saw me speak, at the Hex conference, I shared a little bit about some of the traumatic things I've been through in the past few years. And I'm a single father now. Like, dude, I didn't know that was going to happen, but it's like the most exciting thing in the world. I wake up 6 out of 7 days a week, like feeling like the luckiest man on planet Earth. And it's a really good feeling. And I want to continue that feeling. And I want to continue getting to know Hexicans and, just people. I like you guys. You guys are a lot of fun. We talk about, we're planning on doing some camping trips. We're going to maybe go scouting for crystals. That's not really exciting for me. But when I showed my son, my oldest son, that, dude, he was so excited. He was like nerding out, dude. Like, he's going to have so much fun. He's going to be right on your tail there, T-Rex. And he was explaining and telling me, no, that's not, this is that. And so, there's that. We're talking about clam digging, some hiking. And like, we live in such a beautiful state. There's so much to do here. I really look forward to hanging out with you guys and doing stuff, and like I has said, I have a kid, I have 2 boys, and, some of the others in the group have kids, and we're planning on doing some kid-friendly stuff too. So I'm just super excited about that, growing myself and my mental health and, losing a little bit more of my gut. I've done good with that. So yeah, just that's about it, man. And when Pulse launches, it's going to launch.
Awesome. Yeah. The Netflix go woke, go broke thing, maybe catching up to him right now as well. Just want to throw that in there. Stevie D, what's happening, man? What are you looking forward to 2023? And what do you plan on doing this year and in the community and otherwise?
Well, the last conversation I had with T-Rex, we were just getting deep on the whole yielding and the opportunities that we have at the moment, how, staking our Hex is, just such a great return. And then, there's other opportunities in the ecosystem, but for PulseX to be launched and, the opportunity there to be able to never sell our crypto if we don't have to and borrow against it, that's just the exciting times ahead of us. So that's just that side of things. I've got holidays planned. My holidays now are based around, Hex events, so Vets and I are heading over to the Bahamas doing that trip, so that's going to be a real fun one. And then I've still got to pull up the old poker night, so I'm gonna definitely organise that. Being a little bit snowed under, but that's going to happen. And Top Golf's going to be another thing that we're going to do and do a catch up with. So I've got those 2 events for us guys to do in the near future. So stay tuned.
Super excited. Yeah, I can't wait for poker, Top Golf. Man, we exciting year for the local meetups in our area. Should be a blast. And yeah, T-Rex, what's happening, man? What are you doing? What are you working on this year? What's going on?
I'm not doing much. I'm a patient person. I think even if when PulseChain launches, I'll be just sitting back with some popcorn watching. I'm not going to make any crazy moves. I'm going to still keep my chains, my value on each chain separated, and just watch. Luckily, I think for everyone who sacrificed, that value has been preserved during the bear market. So that's super cool. It's an opportunity it's something that Richard Hart, in my opinion, built in. But yeah, I'm involved in the second crypto challenge, crypto fitness challenge. So I'm doing that, and just DCAing in where I can. I'm grateful for all of the Hex advantages that we have. So there are things like projects being built on top of Hex, like Hedron. There's airdrops that we've been able to take advantage of for Hex stakers. That's the PLSD and Pulse Bitcoin and all that. There's just so much free things, and in my opinion, I'm just sitting back with popcorn, waiting for PulseChain to launch, and I do think that I'll monitor PulseX and PulseChain when it comes out, and try to take advantage of a dip here or there. But who knows? It might not be. Who knows when it'll come? So I'm patient, and I'm going to DCA into things. I'm 100% of my Hex is staked, so I'm happy about that. And my average stake length is about 10 years. So I'm
Nice.
just letting this whole bear market. I've been just watching my bags grow, and being patient. So super excited though.
It's beautiful to plant a tree and just watch it grow up and produce fruit. And that's what we're doing in this amazing DeFi ecosystem. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Vets, last but not least, what's going on for you in 2023?
Man, so first off, the purpose of Vets in Crypto is just to raise awareness of all military veterans around the world. I'm not launching any projects, maybe down the road, maybe a fundraising event for service disabled, or just veterans in general, who knows, but I'm not doing a token or a project or, no, it's straight and simple with me, man. What you see is what you get. Just do it, a lot of due diligence, keep researching, start developing plans, have notes, because those that have of seeing something take off and watching, graphs and stocks, that the dopamine rush is real. Right? You can mess up and call it fat fingering, right? You're doing something and oops, so have a plan. Everyone has a plan until they get hit in the face, right? Or until FOMO kicks in. So just, surround yourself. So like Belliot said, and I coined this and I give it to Wendy's for tendies as well. It's good to have friends in crypto, 100%. You guys should go, if you're not, go see those guys, Legion VC and Telegram. They got a lot of open conversations in there. That's another good one. So just doing due diligence. Maybe look at joining, after you've been around the community for a while. Maybe look at some of the paid private groups. Like you touched on Dollar Cost Crypto. He's got a group. Jake Sharp, he's got his crypto mastermind. Randy Hilarski, no permissions. There's a STA Discord with Sloth and Axis and Silver. Crypto Coffee has a course. Those are like solid, good, reputable members in the community. Anybody else out there on YouTube, like, where are they now? where are they? That speaks volumes, 100%. Just cross-reference everything with all these new projects. And if you're newer, get at least a minimum of 2 sources when you're verifying contract addresses, and bookmark those sites. Once you find something that's legit, save, follow them. There's so many fake things. We see it all the time on Twitter, everyone being copied. You got to look at those little attention to details. How many followers do they have? Things like that. How many times has RH, been, spoofed and stuff? You got to do your due diligence. Check everything twice, 100%. Just from security to treasures, so just due diligence, do a lot of research, excited for a lot of things. For me, I guess next on the deck is Tetra Sacrifice is coming up February 17th. That's really interesting. Get in the Telegram, start learning about that. Crypto Sloth is going to write up some scripts, kind of automating stuff. So, there's a lot on the horizon, a lot to be excited about. You got to stay on top, make notes, and do your research for sure.
Awesome. Yeah, I think 2023, it's, the beginning of the year, it seemed like it was going to be sideways, kind of boring. We just got to get through it. That was my beginning. My New Year's resolution would have been like, just get through it. 2024 is going to be the big bang. But I don't know, man. 2023 is shaping up to be, of course, I set myself up with a lot of passive options and staking, and I don't need to touch things or trade a lot or anything of that sort. But it's, I don't know, this, again, the dev outrage marketing, I've been a fan of, instead of, RH just pretending like you don't want to talk about dev updates. And I don't know, I kind of miss Prada. I wish he would do some more outfits. I need some more thumbnail material. I make a lot of thumbnails these days. So RH, if you could just go to the Prada store a little bit more often these days, that'd be great. We got one question from the chat that I think we're qualified to speculate or predict on. If anyone who wants to jump at it, Dave5656, which I'm not sure if that's there, Dave, or not, could be. How many X's do you guys think Hex will do in 2023? With lots of emojis. Thanks. Who wants to take that one?
I'll go ahead. I think it'll do at least a 1x.
That a boy. Way to put yourself out there.
Don't
Jerry.
get too crazy,
Woo,
Jerry. Don't get
that's
too
not
crazy.
financial advice.
From the all-time low.
A 1X.
Honestly, I think it's hard to predict with the release of PulseChain. I think there's so many different moving cogs that and which hex are you referring?
Right.
I do think that I do think that both Ethereum hex, if PulseChain does launch, I do think both hexes will meet parity at some point, because I think I think people will buy what's cheaper. So and that should eventually meet parity. But I think that's a tough one to think about, because I mean, PulseChain gains, people love Hex, and some of their gains, they might move it right to Hex, which would be their, in my opinion, their 401k, you know? So for me, that's a tough one. But I agree with Jerry. At least 1x.
At least a 1x. At least a 1x. Yeah. So it shouldn't go down. I guess that's the conventional wisdom, hopefully.
I do want to add one thing to that, if you don't mind.
Sure.
It's just best to DCA in. It really is. And then, figure out how to DCA a little bit out to put some money in your pocket, because, that's important. But definitely DCA. And I'm just going to say, if somebody is thinking, I'm going to buy at this price and I'm going to sell right before Pulse launching, in my personal opinion, that's a terrible idea. DCA and like I said, DCA out a little bit, or whatever your first stake ends or whatever you decide to do. But thinking about trading is just a bad idea. It's not good for you. It's not good for me. Unhealthy habits is what I was engaged in when I first got into crypto, and I don't have to have those bad habits anymore. I'm staked out. I've got a ladder. I put it together, and I'm DCAing in more for my children. So that's my advice.
There you go. We'll do one more question before we go. Hex on the beach. Wish you were here, man. Good to see you.
Ow.
How many X does PulseChain or PulseX will do? Anybody want to take that one?
More than 2. How about that?
More than 2. Almost like we try not to lose money on these investments. We feel very confident we won't be losing money. Yeah,
I think we're good. Yeah, yeah. So I mean, God, man. I mean, it just gets exciting just thinking about everything. I mean, between like Famous, Liquid Loans, Power City, we're coming with a fully loaded chain. Like, who's done that? You look at those numbers on PulseX, from K4K, what he's done, and just the other graphs of how others, just taking a median average of how the others have performed over time and years. Man, you can't do anything wrong if you just do nothing. Like when it launches, and if you do nothing and you just hodl, you're okay. You're not going to mess something up or send something to the wrong address. It's hard to mess this up if we're going to apply the KISS method for those that aren't really experienced. Keep it simple, stupid, right? So just keep a level head, because it's going to be crazy. It's going to be nuts. And there'll be some 24-hour streams. What do you got planned, Max, for jumping on somebody's stream or something?
Ooh, man, people have asked me that. I don't know. I think there'll be a lot of people streaming a lot more around that time. I think I'm trying to slow down a little bit. I'm going to take a break at the end of the month and see how things choke out with the test nets and all that. I plan on setting up a testnet validator for PulseChain. Been working with the Ethereum testnet validator right now. Hopefully I can get that all running. So I'm preparing for that, but I'm going to take a little bit of break too. And then hopefully, I don't know, March, April, May, we'll see what comes out of RH's Twitter feed and announcements go. But I'd say prepare yourself. Don't take too long of a break, because this year is shaping up to be more exciting than I thought, at least. I'll say that. Closing remarks. We'll start with vets and we'll go down. We just keep going and reverse and forward here. Start with vets. Closing remarks. Last word. Where can people find you?
Yeah, love you guys. Glad I found you. See you, crypto compassion. Love you, brother. Like-minded individuals, and again, can't say it enough. It's good to have friends. And appreciate it. And even when you travel around the country or even around the world, meeting everybody, there's nothing like it. You have to experience an in real life Hexican, PulseChain, PulseCan meetup, and you will not be disappointed 100%. So it's worth every penny. The networking, the opportunities, it's priceless for sure. You can find me on Twitter at VetsInCrypto1, the number 1, VetsInCrypto1. Otherwise, Vets in Crypto anywhere and everywhere. I kind of all over the place and try to engage here and there. So Insta, Telegram. If you do a search, you'll probably find something. But always appreciate a follow and a like. And thanks for hosting us, Max. Appreciate it.
Of course. Pleasure. T-Rex, how about you?
Closing remark. Well, I'd like to throw my shout out to Hex on the Beach. He's one of our key members in our Seattle Hex community. And aside from that, I think, I'm just happy to be a part of this group, and I'm happy to that we have at least 10 years, Max.
At least
10 years.
I always say 15 to life. 15 to life.
There we go. Yeah, and just excited for the things coming for all of us. I think we're in a really good spot, and hopefully we get more people to join, more people in our clique. So,
as Richard says, we need more people, not less. I agree. Yep. I agree. Steve D, how about you?
Well, it's awesome to be able to catch up with you guys, but a little disappointing. We had like 20 at the bowling and at the hockey game. So our group is a lot bigger than just us guys here, and just having just a slice of the pie, isn't it? Seeing us here together, but Jerry's said it beautifully, just dollar cost average. So, just we're on the rocket ship. It's just a matter of staying on board and keep our strategies in place. I'm in construction, so it's all about me. I've got a plan. I've got the blueprints, and it doesn't matter, time management, financial management. It doesn't matter. You've got a plan. You stick to it, and we're all on the same ship and go in the same direction. So it's exciting times. So being happy to be part of it all.
Glad to have you, man. Yeah, the difference between hopes and dreams is hex.com. I'll throw that out there. Jerry Oaksmith, how about you? Last words, and where can people find you?
So if you want to find me, I'm Jerry Oaksmith on Twitter. I'm unplug_dad on Instagram. That's more personal stuff with my kids on there, and you're welcome to friend me or whatever you call it on there. And I just want to give a shout out to Brandon. How do you say this? I don't want to say like you're the leader or the epicenter, but like you're the OG, and meeting you and kind of a growing centered around you and your gentle kindness and your thoughtful words. Like, I don't know if we would have had such a special group without you. I mean, that's easy to say, but like everybody in the space knows that like you're the man, dude. So I just want to give a shout out to you, and you're even more special in person. So people that see you on stream, they're only getting part of you. So that's it. And if you're a little intimidated and would like to hang out with us or are nervous, don't be nervous. We're actually just really cool guys. Like, really cool guys. The waitress that's been with us, I think 3 times at our local place we go to. She, I pulled her aside one time and I said, come on now. I said, hey, what do you think about us? Like, what is your perception of us? And she said the kind of stuff. She goes, you guys are like nobody else. There's something really special about you guys. And I mean, I can't remember everything she said, but it really meant a lot to me that we stand out in such a positive way. And, we are intriguing, the way we, have our gear and we're laughing to have a good time. So, yeah, I just, highly encourage people all around the United States to go and find their state meetup, start one, have one, and build relationships, because that's really what life is all about. The daily payout is just part of what's going on here. So that's it. Thanks for hosting, Max, and I'm really glad that you joined our crew too. And it's awesome to watch you take off like a rocket.
I only know one direction to go. That's up and to the right. Let's knock on wood here. That's the last time I came in for the dinner. I didn't even think she recognized me or our group, and she was like, "Oh, where's the motley crew at?" And I'm like, "What? You actually you remember? She has affinity. People who, waitresses and waiters and stuff. People who, we have events with and are doing that with. They have affinity for our group. It's pretty amazing. So I really always like to see that.
Plus, you tip really well when you've been drinking too. I don't know if you know that.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Exactly.
I think they jacked that bill up enough where I'm like, it's always have to have a double take, but somehow they have good service. So whatever, I'll take it. Bally Brand, where can people find you? It looks like you got all my links there, and last word, sir.
Yeah. So last words is, I kind of want to reiterate what Jerry had said as far as like the meetups go, where, some people might be, part of the community. Maybe they'd kind of been just sitting in the sidelines and they don't know if there's, people in their area. Hey, you could ask Twitter, ask Telegram, like, hey, is there any other Hexicans in this state or that state? And then if not, what I ended up doing was, creating the Telegram just because I hadn't seen anyone else, in the Washington State area. So I kind of used that as an opportunity. And other people should do the same. If you don't have, a Telegram group in your area, make one and find people that are local to you. And as Jerry had said too, with the meetups, like, there definitely is something special about not only the group of people, not only the product, but there's certain things in life that you can tell that are like short-lived and kind of like a fad, and then you can tell that there's other things that are like revolutionary and like that aren't going away. And to me, this is kind of one of those things that isn't going away and that is getting stronger. Jerry had referenced the Bitcoin documentaries in the beginning, and most people had heard about it a time or two, but then 14 years later, X amount of years later, it's done all of this price appreciation. That is one thing I wanted to comment real quick on, like, and it's tough, right? No one's got a crystal ball of accuracy and things like that, and obviously it's just fun to speculate. But as far as those questions of like, what do you think Hex can do? It's like, no one can predict the future, but we've seen what it's done in the past. Like we saw it do the 10,000x, 2.5 years, etc. As far as PulseChain goes and PulseX go, those numbers could be, not saying that it's going to be within the same time frame and things, but if you take what we're doing already, like with Hex, with how much we had gone up in, such a gate kept, product and community. Well, now with PulseChain and, subsequently PulseX and these things, that's really going to, as far as like a dam being backed up, like a beaver dam or something, that's really going to poke the first couple holes that, now people have heard of Bitcoin, Ethereum, that maybe they haven't heard of PulseChain, PulseX, but, or PulseChain or Hex, but after the launch, it's going to be one of those things that, once again, you can't unhear about it. It's going to make its mark. So, as far as all I have to say is, just great job, Max, on your streams. You've been doing really great, and I love to see, that the community itself, people are getting together and asking how they can help, or people like yourself that never even intended on streaming in the first place are now, putting in valuable information and obviously a lot of time on your end, to educate others. And so if we can all kind of just do that collectively with what we know, then we're building everyone up, like a chain link, you're only as strong as the weakest link. And so the cool thing I love about this community is we're, lifting everyone up together and, giving everyone, our tips and secrets and advice. And then from there, people can kind of just take that information and make it on their own. But very last thing I'll say is have a thesis, right? Vets in Crypto had mentioned, the dopamine that comes from FOMO, and it's unlike any other dopamine I've experienced. Like as far as the FOMO goes, you should have kind of like a thesis of, hey, when PulseChain comes out or some of these other things come out, when do I want to take profit? What amount of X's do you want to take profit at? And just some of these things, because once it launches, it can be pretty inundating. And that's just what we've seen with Hex, let alone once PulseChain and some of these other things launch that are going to be, a bigger scale and just less gate kept. It's going to be harder to make those investment decisions or those decisions that you want to with your portfolio if you haven't really thought about it much before. So that's all I'll say. And thanks again for having us on, man. This group of people is really awesome. And like Tyrannosaurus Hex had said, like it's going to be getting bigger. And I really look forward to the future meetups.
Of course. It's been a great, man. And I think you mentioned PulseChain Hex there for a second. Is that a free claim for Bitcoiners to get some free Pulse?
Right.
That would be cool. Big shout out to Bitcoin Hex, the original website and stuff. Guys, Jerry's battery's dying, so we'll call it at that. Appreciate everyone.
Jerry, he's upside down.
He can't even. His phone has tried its best. Get a wireless charger and or plug it in, Jerry, if you want to continue using your phone tonight. Everyone, thanks for tuning in. Love the chat. You guys had a lot of great questions and comments. Super funny. Glad to see everyone. We're going to try to do another time. Sometime we'll do like maybe a greater Western thing. We can invite Crypty Girl, Crypto Compassion, a lot of the people who show up to our events from time to time, help us plan some of the things in the future. It's going to be fantastic. Local Hex meetups. If you don't know where yours is, try your best to find it because they are a blast. And we'll go out with that one. So thanks, everyone. Smash all the buttons, go subscribe to all these people and follow them on Twitter if you want to know more information. And we are out.